What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let's see what they're talking about. Imagine training somebody the wrong way.
On
See what
September
we talking about.
22nd, 2023, Officer Timothy Leonard of the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department was patrolling in the Hermitage precinct in Nashville, Tennessee around 1 a.m. when he saw an unfamiliar vehicle in the parking lot of a private business. Officer Leonard approached the vehicle and found the owner of the Reba Audits 51550 YouTube channel, who goes by Reba, in the driver's seat. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Leonard's body camera, with Reba filming with her cell phone as well.
On a 44 Victor at 801.
Worst people to pull over. Why? Because they're looking for it, God. They're looking for it. They're auditing you. That means they want the smoke to see
Hello,
how
ma'am.
you react.
I'm Officer Leonard Metro. We're just wondering what you were doing here.
I don't answer questions.
Okay, why not?
I have a right not to.
Okay, well look,
Fifth Amendment.
you do. Let me explain a few things, okay? I'm a police officer.
All right.
Okay, this is my area, this is my zone. I'm here all the time.
Yeah,
Okay?
Hermitage.
Yes. And I'm here in this particular parking lot quite often, and I just don't usually see a Jeep here.
Uh-huh.
And I was just wondering what you're doing, because it's weird to me there's just a Jeep here that's usually not here. That's why
Okay,
I'm making
well,
contact with you.
I'm not.
If you're not doing
I'm
anything wrong, we got nothing to worry about.
I'm not obligated to help you with your investigation.
You are obligated to talk to me as a police officer.
No,
Okay.
she's
I
not
have the right
obligated.
to ask you simple questions,
Yes,
such as,
you do.
what are you doing here?
I have a right to refuse to answer them.
Okay,
Thank you.
then I have a
don't
right to
answer
ask for your
questions.
ID,
For what reason?
because you're refusing to cooperate with me.
So you want to do something punitive
That's
to
not
me?
the
You wanna
correct
punish
reason.
me?
I just want to figure out
just
who
said
you are,
that on
and
video,
I
right?
didn't.
You just told me that.
My. Oh,
You said
on
because I
video.
didn't want to do what you wanted.
Oh.
That's you were going to punish me.
I did not. Those are your
Yeah.
words,
No,
not
no,
mine.
no.
That's exactly.
It's her words, but your actions. There's a reason why she's saying those words, because you're threatening her, gang.
Exactly what
You
happened.
threat her.
You know, this goes a lot easier if we just are nice with each other.
It would be.
Yeah,
Don't
you
leave
have to
me alone.
start.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
You gotta
So
be
then tell me
nice.
what you are doing here.
It's none of your business.
Do you work
It really is not. No,
Oh
any of
my
your
Do you have anything to
business.
do
I'm
with this
not
building?
breaking a law.
here? Okay.
Now, you can do your investigation, but I'm not going to aid you in it. Period.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you do understand that because you're here, I have no idea who you are and why you're here.
You don't need to.
I have the right to detain
I'm
you.
on private property. Well, detained is the same as arrested, so what am
It's
I
not the
arrested
same.
for?
Detained just means you can't leave.
Basically,
Nope.
it is.
You don't go in
Yeah.
handcuffs and you're detained.
What am I detained for? What crime?
Because you're refusing to cooperate with me right now, and you have.
I don't have to. I don't have to communicate with you. I don't have to cooperate
Man, just
with
tell me
you.
what you're doing here.
It's
That's all
none
this
of
is.
your
That's
business.
all this is
It's
about.
none of your business.
Okay.
None of
Yeah.
Well, then let me see your
your
driver's license.
business.
For what cause?
Because I don't.
Because I don't answer your questions.
Because I have a
so
reason.
you want my driver's license?
I have a reason to believe that you are here and you're not supposed to be here.
What?
That is
Why?
it's called reasonable
what's
suspicion.
What's the reason? Because I'm in a parking lot.
Yes,
So
and you are
think
normally
you can
not
go
here.
in any private parking lot and harass people.
That's not what I'm doing.
That's
Yes,
exactly
you-
what
yeah,
you're doing.
you are,
Your
bro.
words,
And
not
you're
mine.
pouting because you're not getting your way.
I'm not pouting.
So you're going for my ID like a pussy.
I have a right to ask for
Ah!
anyone's idea come in
Yeah,
contact.
you can ask anything.
Okay. Can you step out of the car for me?
For what?
You're not going to be placed in handcuffs, but you are
For
being
what?
detained.
For what?
I would feel
I'm
more
sitting
comfortable
here.
if you
I'm
stepped out of the
detained.
car. Okay?
For what?
Step out of the car.
You're not going to arrest me, so
I'm
why
not
do
going
I
to
need
arrest
to get out
you.
of the car?
I need you to get out of the car.
For what
so
reason?
we can have a conversation.
Please get your supervisor.
We need to have a conversation.
We
now.
need to talk to your supervisor.
And we can make that happen.
Get your supervisor. Please call your supervisor.
Right
I
now.
will do that once you hand me your ID. I'll make that deal with you.
Please call your supervisor.
Ma'am, I need to know who you are.
Please call your supervisor.
Is this person here related with you? Why are you being so difficult with me?
It's not
You're
difficult.
difficult,
I'm
bro.
not obligated to do your investigation. I don't care about your investigation. I'm sitting here trying to be in a parking lot, and you're f***ing with me.
I'm not. Have I told you anything wrong? Have I told you anything bad? Have
Yeah.
I said anything? Everything that's bad has happened from your words, not mine.
No.
Hey, Moss. Is he with her?
Yeah.
Hey, sir. I'm Officer Leonard. Me and my partner were in body cameras. Look, she's being extremely difficult with me. I'm just trying to have a conversation with her, okay?
I can't hear.
Look, let me just tell you why we're here. This is my area, okay? There's usually not a car parked here, and I just wanted to speak with her and figure out what she was here, why she's here. That's all it's about.
Okay.
And she's refusing to answer my questions.
I'm here every night, midnight at 1 o'clock.
Okay, do you clean the building?
No, I'm here to pick this shit up and this right here and carry it to Knoxville
Okay.
every night. Been
Okay.
doing this for 5 years.
Okay. Do you guys look? I have no reason to believe that you're not telling me the truth. Okay. All I need.
I promise you, I just unlocked that door with this key.
You have a key for the building?
Yeah. I
Perfect.
Just went in and got my.
Okay.
This is my job.
Okay. And again,
Some people have a job.
thank you. I believe you. I do too. Now, understand from my point of view, just being
I get it.
being the zone officer, I'm here all the time. I normally don't see a car parked here. It was just a little bit weird. That's called what we call reasonable suspicion in my job.
No,
okay?
it's not.
When I have that, I have the right to talk to people, ask a couple questions, figure out what's going on, and as long as everything checks out, we all go on our way. That's
But we
all
don't
this
have
is.
to answer a single
You
question
do.
that
You are
ask.
wrong.
No, we don't have to answer your questions.
You do.
No.
No.
As a police officer, I have that authority.
You can ask me anything
So-
you want, but I'm not obliged to tell you anything.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you? Can I please have it? Okay. Sir, do you know who she is? Is she with you?
Yes, she's my sister.
Please do
Okay.
not.
I'm gonna hang on to this until I get hers. So as soon as she gets
I can't believe I'm on her side right now.
What's your suspicion now? So he's explained everything to you, so what are your suspicions about me?
as a police officer, when I'm on a call and
Uh-huh.
I have reasonable suspicion, I have the right to ID everyone I'm talking
Well,
to.
I don't have to ID
Let me
you
explain
unless
everything
you-
and
unless
stop
you-
interrupting me.
Unless you charge me with a separate crime, you cannot get me for failure to ID because it's none of your business.
The longer you interrupt me, the longer we're going to be here. All right?
Don't talk to me like I'm a child.
Well, then don't act like one.
I'm not.
Here we go. Again, ready? I have his ID.
So unprofessional.
I need your ID. The sooner you give it to me, the sooner we can all be on our way. That's all this
Call your
is.
supervisor.
Okay, give me your ID and I will.
Can you call your supervisor, please? What's your name, badge number? Employee
This is
number?
Officer Moss. He's
I'm
training.
asking him.
He is training.
Thank you.
Officer Moss,
Uh-huh.
40111.
Thank you.
Are you
Can
guys
you
sovereign
please call your
citizens or something?
supervisor?
Is that what this is?
Not
Sovereign
not
citizens.
bowing to
Is
your
that what
will
this
does
is?
not make
What does that
somebody
matter
sovereign.
neither?
Okay.
What does that matter, bro? Why are you trying to like?
I have no idea.
What are we
Okay, all I
doing?
need is your ID.
You
That's
don't
it.
need it.
Ma'am, what's your ID?
You don't need it.
Where is it?
You don't
Okay.
need it.
Officer Leonard informs Reba that she is detained and repeatedly demands her identification, but Reba refuses to comply with his requests. Now, we will explore whether or not Reba was required to identify herself later in this episode, but as we have discussed many times before here on ATA, the Supreme Court held in the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio that the Fourth Amendment prohibits a police officer from detaining an individual without reasonable suspicion to believe that they are involved in criminal activity. Under Section 39-14-405 of the Tennessee Code, a person commits criminal trespass if the person enters or remains on property without the consent of the owner. Here, Officer Leonard had no evidence that Reba and her brother were there without the consent of the owner, besides the fact that he personally did not recognize the vehicle. In the 2009 case of United States versus C, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Tennessee, held that an officer lacked reasonable suspicion to detain the occupants of a car that was parked in a public housing parking lot at 4:30 a.m. based on the early hour of the morning, the high crime area, and a request that the officer be on the lookout for loiterers when the officer was not responding to a complaint and did not observe the vehicle's occupants acting suspiciously. Citing this case, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee concluded in the 2021 case of State versus Brown that the mere presence of a non-tenant in a parking lot adjacent to an apartment building did not give rise to reasonable suspicion of trespassing. Applying this precedent, a court would likely find that Officer Leonard's observation of an unfamiliar vehicle in a private parking lot was insufficient to justify detaining Reba, absent additional evidence of trespass or other criminal activity.
I understand. I completely understand. If you're not getting your way, you're gonna be upset. But if you don't get your way, you don't get your way, bro. Like, stop making your life so difficult, bro. If you want to watch her from afar, you got a couple ways you can go about it. Okay, not a problem. You don't want to ID yourself. You have a great day, but you're normally not here. If you have some business, go ahead and conduct it. Get the fuck out of here. I'll be watching you from afar. Get another officer to be around you if you want. And then and if they want to drive off, and you want to be an asshole, go follow the bitch until she commits a crime, and then you stop her and you give her a ticket. Whatever you want to do, but like wasting her time, gang.
17, Charles.
Wasting your time, her time, everybody's time right now. Why? Because you're not getting
Can you
your
start me
way.
one more car? 28 Tennessee Tech, Boyd, Nora, Queen, 7683.
What we
Tell me
doing,
that
gang?
comes back to.
You're not getting your way, so you want to cry. This shit crazy.
Sir, look, I'm being reasonable here. I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up for anything. I just need to get her ID. That's all it is. That's all it is. You've been cooperative. I appreciate that. Coach who's fine. He's got a lady who's maybe a sovereign citizen over here.
What's your definition of a sovereign
Yeah,
citizen?
like what is
Sovereign
that?
citizen is someone who just doesn't cooperate with police. They don't think they have to. They think
Okay.
rules and laws don't apply to them.
They do. I don't know why you think I'm a soft sit.
Okay, look. Can you give me your ID?
No.
Why not?
I don't
none of
need
your
to.
business.
It is my
an
business.
Overreach
It's
of
not an
your
overreach.
power
You're
when
reaching.
you don't have
Wow.
any suspicion that I've committed a crime. This has
Go ahead.
become 100% your ego.
It's not.
This is all your ego.
Can you verify that? Ma'am, you understand that it's my policy of my department to identify anybody I come
Well,
in
I don't care
contact
about
with.
policy. I care about law.
So the policy follows
I don't have to abide by your department's policy. I
which
go by the
follows
law.
the state
I go by
laws.
the law.
Okay.
And the law is I don't have to ID to you. Your policy doesn't mean shit to me.
Officer Leonard claims that it is his department's policy to identify everyone that they
Fuck a po-
contact.
it's your-
However, the
your
Supreme Court
policy,
held
my
in the
boy, not
1979
mine.
case of Brown versus Texas that, similar to the requirement for a Terry stop, officers cannot require an individual to identify themselves without reasonable suspicion to believe that they're engaged in criminal conduct, and the policies contained in the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department manual comply with this constitutional standard. However, even when an officer has reasonable suspicion, the policy does not authorize officers to demand identification under threat of arrest. Rather,
Wow.
it states that the identity of the individual, quote, is likely to be useful in the intelligence gathering process. Additionally, policy 18.80.040 notes that the subject of a field interview often will not.
I understand. But you're still a failure. I understand when you're writing your reports and you don't have ID, it's going to look wrong. Absolutely. Why didn't you have power? Why couldn't you have the ID? Etc., etc. But if you're doing it the wrong way in the first place, you're not going to get what you want to make them happy. As in the higher ups. Right? So, one, come up to the person nice and professional. If you want it your way, make it think that it's going their way, but in all reality, you have control. But if you're gonna go to a situation thinking it's your way by itself, it ain't gonna work, gang, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of egos involved. And at the end of the day, she doesn't have to ID you. It's your department's policy. It's not law. You know this. So if you want to make the department happy to train the new kid the right way, gang, what are we doing, my bro? Be nice. Public servant ass nigga, dog.
Furnish all of the information necessary to complete the entire report
nice.
and encourages officers to submit incomplete reports with pertinent information. These provisions confirm that, contrary to Officer Leonard's assertions, MNPD policy does not authorize officers to demand identification from individuals stopped on reasonable suspicion of a crime, let alone everyone that they come into contact with.
Ma'am, you do understand that if you do refuse to ID yourself, I have to take you to jail.
If you want to arrest me for a separate crime, you can arrest me that as a secondary charge. But it's not a charge in itself.
There's no charge initially. We're just having an encounter with you just to see what's
Right.
going on. And if you would just give me your ID, I could ID you and
Did
get,
you
and
call
get
your
you out of here.
supervisor?
Not yet, because you haven't given me your ID.
I have asked over and over for a supervisor.
You've asked me twice.
That's what they're for.
You've asked me twice.
I asked you too. Will you call
Numerous
supervisor?
times.
We'll call one in just a minute, okay?
We'll call one of the strikes.
Cheers.
We're gonna
You're
get-
fucking yourself up, my boy.
And the longer she doesn't give me
Dumbass.
her ID, the longer you're not going to do your job.
I'm gonna go do my job. It's my
Let me run your ID, okay?
And he can go ahead and go do his job because at the end of the day, you're not being detained. He's not being detained. So go do your job. But I do understand if he wants to make sure everything is okay. So maybe he's there for that.
We're going to, while we do this, we're going to TLO her. We'll find her that way. He's got no TBI, he's got no outstanding warrant, so as far as I'm concerned, he's free to leave. I'm just going to have him verify, because he said he was inside the building, so. Hey, dude. So, we were just making rounds, this area, you know, whatever. We're making a round across the street, 800 Royal.
Yep.
I see this Jeep parked as it is. I'm just like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I usually see a Jeep parked here.
Yeah.
I initiated 40 Paul Victor, go
Yeah.
make contact with her. She's like, I don't have to answer your questions. I'm like,
Oh, he's
okay.
detained right now. Well,
So I told her she's detained. While we're talking to her, this gentleman comes out the door, gives me his ID. She's telling me she doesn't have to give me her ID, that she doesn't have to cooperate with my investigation. And I'm telling her the sooner she gives me her ID, the sooner I can let her
Yeah.
cut her loose and get her out of here.
she's detained. right
She's
now.
she's
She's
just
a
refusing.
trespasser.
Yeah. So
Not
she's
trespassing. You're
demanding
not even get a
supervisor,
call.
So.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't receive a call. What trespass? It's private property, but it ain't your property and you didn't receive a call. So what are we doing?
So that's all it is.
Is
She
it her
just-
car?
no.
Niggas be
I
reaching,
think it
gang.
is. Hey Todd, is this your car? It is? Okay. You wanna try talking to her? I'm gonna talk to him.
Okay.
Hey, Doc, real quick. So you said you were inside the building. I believe you.
Can you just tell me?
No, I'm not.
I just
They gave you an
tell me
update.
What's going on?
That he updated you.
I'm just trying to get you.
What's your name and full?
Badge number 409192.
I couldn't understand the name.
Officer Malone,
Malone.
409192.
Thank you.
Can you just tell me what's going on?
No, I don't need to do anything. I'm ready to leave here. I'm detained for nothing. So
Okay.
I don't
Well,
have
can you
anything to say.
provide-
I don't need anything. You're not the supervisor, right?
I'm not a supervisor.
So I don't need to repeat it all for you. That's a waste
Why
of my time
make
and
your
yours.
life
Okay, well,
difficult for
I mean,
his
the
fuck
sooner-
up?
Sooner we can be able to identify you, sooner we can get you loose.
So y'all are gonna punish me and keep me
not a
detained
punishment.
because you're not getting your way.
That is a
It's not
punishment.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
you're
is.
being detained and we have a legal right
For
to-
what?
for
What's
not
your reasonable
trespassing.
articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime?
Trespassing.
Trespassing?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you getting that? He's explained he
The
works
business-
here.
the business-
He's explained he worked here.
Oh, you gonna talk over me? Or can I?
Yeah, I'll talk. No, I'm not talking to you at all. How about that? I'm not listening to you either.
Okay.
You're just as stupid as they are.
You guys out of here.
She's gonna come out. I'll come up.
Okay, well I need to get her ID.
You don't,
You're
bro.
interrupting. I'm silent.
Ma'am. Me and Todd here, we're fine. But I need to get you ID'd. We can be fine if I can get your ID. That's all it is.
What crime are you gonna charge me with?
I've already gone over this with you twice, and my partner
Then
here
you're
just
not getting my
explained it to
ID.
you. You're here
No.
on private property. Which-
State of Tennessee, I do not have to give you my ID unless I'm charged with a separate crime.
That's not true.
It
You're
is
being
true.
detained for a crime.
You're being detained for
yeah,
reasonable
I'm just
suspicion,
saying.
which means you
Ta-da.
do have to give me your ID.
Ta-da. No, I don't.
Yes, it does.
No, RAS doesn't work in Tennessee.
Okay, well then you can be charged with
No.
resisting a stop.
No, I haven't resisted any stop.
You're resisting right now.
You're on
I'm
video
resisting
being.
your wants and wishes.
Reba argues that under Tennessee law, officers cannot demand identification during a Terry stop based on reasonable suspicion, and that she only needs to identify herself if she is arrested for a separate crime. But the officers contend that she can be arrested for quote-unquote resisting a stop if she refuses to identify herself. Now, while Section 7-3-505 of the Tennessee Code requires citizens to identify themselves when an officer is issuing a citation or civil warrant, Tennessee has no so-called stop and identify statute requiring detainees to give their name during a Terry stop based on reasonable suspicion. It should be noted that Section 39-16-611 of the Tennessee Code does criminalize the act of providing false identifying information to an officer during a detention. But this statute does not make it an offense for a citizen to decline to identify themselves, and it did not go into effect until July 1st, 2025, several years after this interaction occurred. Now, as for the officer's argument that Reba could be arrested for resisting a stop, Section 39-16-602 of the Tennessee Code makes it an offense to intentionally prevent or obstruct a law enforcement officer from effecting a stop, frisk, halt, arrest, or search by using force, meaning that passive noncompliance, including refusing to answer questions or provide one's name, does not constitute resistance under the statute. And although Section 11.04.020 of the Nashville and Davidson County Municipal Code uses broader language, simply prohibiting resisting, interfering with, or hindering a police officer in the discharge of their duties, as we discussed earlier in this episode, such an ordinance could not constitutionally be applied to an individual's refusal to identify themselves when an officer does not have reasonable suspicion that the individual is involved in criminal activity. Accordingly, it is unlikely that a court would conclude that Reba could lawfully be arrested for her refusal to identify herself.
I'm going by the
AKA, let me dumb it down for y'all dummies. I'm included in there too, you feel me? But let me dumb it down for you dummies. If you are caught, or if the officer comes to you and says, hey, I saw you do something stupid. This is what you did. This is why I'm stopping you. I need you to identify yourself. At that point, he has reasonable suspicion to stop you because you did something stupid. And then you have to identify yourself. If the something stupid has to be something that you can get arrested for, or something that might be illegal, or something close to illegal, you feel me? Now, she was just stopped there. He introduced himself as, hey, I'm just in the area. This is my area. There's usually not a car there. I see you there. Just want to make sure everything is okay. That's in the friendly manner. There's no reasonable suspicion. There's no call that you got in. You're just doing your job. You're being proactive. Congratulations for you for being proactive. Now, let's congratulate you for being active. But let's say she says she doesn't want to give you her license. She doesn't have to give you her license. Now, if they called you and they say, oh, these people are trespassing, I don't really want this car in my property, then you have reasonable suspicion. You got caught, or they called in because you're doing something you're not supposed to. You're not where you own. Somebody owns. They called in. They want you out. At that point, I guess you can ask for a driver's license. But not being on the positive note, being proactive, and then you get a Karen. You being proactive, great. But then you get a Karen. Okay, no problem, my nigga. Once you finish with your business, get out of here, and I'm gonna be over there watching your every moves. Do your job correctly. Do your job correctly. Be nice. Be professional. Do your job correctly. Get what's needed, not what's wanted. If you want something, go get ice cream, my nigga.
We're
Follow law.
sitting in the parking lot where nobody else is, okay? It's fine.
Exactly, and I've explained this to you both.
Right. so
Normally,
why are you
I don't
still
see your
fucking
car
with
here.
me when you know what
If
we're
you give me
doing?
your ID and I can
That's
get you
all your
ID,
ego.
we'll be
This
out of
is your
here.
ego.
Nope,
This
I
They
is
have
all
to
stuck
do
your
on
this.
the
ego.
ID,
No,
gang.
here
What
we
are we
go.
doing? Where's the
Okay.
It's not you.
supervisor?
It is.
It's the protocol.
It isn't.
It is.
Hey,
No,
20
it's your
minutes
protocol
in,
to
no
ask for it, but
supervisor,
that doesn't
gang.
mean I have to give it to
Yes,
you.
it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
Call your supervisor.
Call you. She's thinking, where's your supervisor, bro? Bro, if you're getting a headache and you don't have control, get your supervisor anyway, nigga. Fucking push the shit up the hill.
Officer.
And he's
Either
gonna tell you
arrest
the
me
same
for
thing.
a separate
He's gonna
crime.
ask
Do
us
what
why
you
he
need
needs
to
come
do.
out here, so we need to give
You
him a reason.
already know we've been talking this to death.
And you want him here because why? You don't think you have you don't think you have to
Because
give
you're
me your
foolish.
ID?
So we
Okay.
need somebody better than you in charge.
Okay.
That's what they're there for.
Okay. I'll get my supervisor en route.
Thank you.
That's
He'll
what
tell you
they're
the same
there
thing I
for.
did.
Officer Leonard finally requests his supervisor. And while
Finally.
he's waiting for him to respond, he identifies Reba through his computer systems by searching her brother's associates. He confirms that Reba does not have any open warrants, and then calls his supervisor again, who advises Officer Leonard to tell Reba that she is free to leave.
So we've got her ID'd. Call Sarge back.
For no reason.
Yeah, but she's still refusing to give me her ID, which is still a chargeable offense.
No, it's
Real
not.
quick, I've got her ID'd. I found her through TLO. She's got nothing in her history. She's just being. It looks like she's just being difficult to be difficult. So I'm gonna explain that I've got her ID'd, and now that I know why they're here, like they're both free to leave since I got her ID'd. But I mean, I don't know if if I do that and she still wants to talk to you, do you still want to respond or?
Yeah, you can tell her that she's free to leave. And I wouldn't even go into it if you've got her ID. And you know who she is now.
Yeah.
You see how he's talking? You see how the supervisor's talking? He's calm, cool, relaxed. Why? Cause he don't want smoke, bro. Nobody wants smoke. This world is hard as it is, especially for a police officer. And you're here putting your time at an old lady that just doesn't want to give you her ID. The fuck are we doing, gang? What are we doing? What are we doing, my brother? What are we doing? Just because you want to train this guy wrong, you want to show him your little insertion of power. You're training somebody completely wrong.
I was gonna tell her she's free to leave.
All right. Bye. All right, ma'am. Both free to leave.
Can you
I
No
apologize?
shit,
have no reason to
Sherlock.
apologize.
Can you admit you were wrong? That
I wasn't wrong, ma'am. I
Yes,
need you
you
to understand
are.
when a police officer has reasonable suspicion, the law
No
states we have the
reasonable
right
suspicion.
to ID people.
No, you don't.
We do.
Or you would be doing it right now.
Here's what I encourage you to
You
do,
would
okay?
Do it right now.
I already have. I've asked you for your ID at least 10 times, and you've refused every time.
Right.
So
Then you punitively detain me.
that's not
Because you know I'm
that's not
gonna do it.
punitive. So
Yeah, that's punitive.
Yes,
I
it
encourage
is.
you to look up the statute about that
I encourage you to.
whenever you leave,
You're the one that's supposed to know.
and I do know.
Then you're either lying to me or you're
What
ignorant
is
to it.
punitive?
You choose which one looks
You can
best
believe
to
whatever
you.
you want to believe. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going
All
to
right.
tell you otherwise.
Bye, everybody.
But you and Todd are free to leave.
Thank you.
Following this encounter, Reba filed a complaint against Officer Leonard. An internal investigation was conducted, and Officer Leonard was suspended for
Inflicting
5
or
days
intended
without
as
pay after
punishment.
2 charges were sustained. The first
Inflicting or intended as punishment because she didn't want to give you her ID. You said you're not free to leave. You're detained. That's a punishment. You took her away from her freedom to leave. Why? Because you detained her. That's a punishment, bro. You remember when you used to do something stupid, your mom used to tell you? Never really happened to me, because at the end of the day, who the fuck is gonna stare at a wall? But hey, go to the wall, go to the corner, stare at that shit for a minute or 2 or 3. I'd rather get a fucking a bow bow pero. I knew those type of kids too. I've seen kids stare at a wall for a couple minutes. That's a punishment, gang. You're taking her away from her freedom.
First sustained charge was deficient or inefficient performance of duties in violation of Policy 4.20.050F of the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department Manual, which requires a documented pattern of deficient or inefficient performance, or a significant occurrence that has not been previously addressed or documented to warrant disciplinary action. Additionally, a violation of Policy 5.110 requiring quote-unquote knowledge of law was sustained, as this policy mandates that officers remain knowledgeable on all matters that pertain to criminal process. Reba filmed
Get your
her
ass
police
back in
calls
training,
while
my
filing
boy.
a complaint and receiving the results, and then shared them on her YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more,
So you was training somebody and then you ended up getting retrained because you was training wrong.
I've linked the videos in the description down below.
suspended him?
Overall, Officer Leonard gets an F for demonstrating fundamental misunderstandings regarding both constitutional and state law, for maintaining a hostile and confrontational demeanor throughout the encounter, and for continuing to detain Reba and Todd long after his suspicion had been clearly dispelled. Officer Leonard began this encounter with nothing more than the observation that a vehicle that he did not recognize was parked in a private lot that he routinely patrols, and he treated that simple fact as if it were a concrete indicator of criminal activity. As discussed earlier in this episode, neither Tennessee law nor controlling precedent treats the mere presence of an unfamiliar vehicle in a parking lot as reasonable suspicion of trespassing or any other offense, particularly when the officer has not observed any suspicious behavior and has received no complaint from the property owner. By immediately framing the contact as a detention and insisting that Reba was not free to refuse his questions, Officer Leonard converted what should have been a consensual conversation into a seizure that lacked any legitimate legal foundation. Once Reba declined to answer his questions, Officer Leonard's misunderstanding of the law became blindingly apparent. He repeatedly claimed that it was departmental policy to identify everyone that officers contact, and asserted that Reba was quote-unquote obligated to talk to him and provide identification simply because he had decided to initiate an investigation. As discussed earlier, MNPD's own field interview policies recognize that individuals are free to refuse to answer questions, to walk away, and to withhold identifying information when there is no...
He's basically talking about everything we've spoken about throughout the video. What does this mean, guys? Keep the fucking ego at home, gang. That shit kills you at the end of the day. It also gives you a lot of headaches. So many headaches. You don't need that shit. You're an officer, bro. You need to be safe. Stay safe, my nigga.
No reason.
You're training too. Like, you want him to be a dick to everybody? No, you don't, bro. Because then your job is gonna be difficult pulling up to a scene where an officer did something stupid. Come on, bro. Shit's tough. You don't gotta make it more tougher, gang.
Reasonable suspicion of criminal activity, and they explicitly acknowledge that officers may need to submit incomplete reports in those situations. Officer Leonard went on to state that Reba could be arrested for resisting or obstructing his investigation if she refused to provide her name, even though Tennessee's resisting statute requires the use of force to interfere with an officer's efforts to effect a stop or arrest, and passive noncompliance does not satisfy that requirement. The broader municipal ordinance that he referenced cannot constitutionally be applied to punish a citizen for declining to identify themselves when an officer lacks reasonable suspicion, and treating it as a catch-all for non-cooperation ignores the basic distinction between lawful authority and personal preference. Even after Todd emerged from the building, produced a key card, demonstrated that he had
personal preference, preference, ego means you want it. That doesn't mean you need it. You want it. You don't need it. Stick to what's needed, bro. Hope you guys enjoyed that. As you know, we live. Come through, throw us up, throw a follow. I really appreciate you guys. It's my first long form, by the way. Just 35 minutes right now. And I'm going to just post it just like this. See if it catches. You feel me? Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.